Afternoon everybody, Rich here, back for another video for the Diecast F1 review, focusing today on the Lotus Renault 98T from the 1986 Formula 1 World Championship. This model is the Johnny Dumfries version, although the other version is of course part of the Ayrton Senna collection. It comes in a much more snazzier box. The 98T, of course, from 1986, was the last Lotus of the John Player Special colour scheme. The last Lotus to have the Renault turbo engine as well, and the last Lotus to have Johnny Dumfries in it, although it was the only Lotus to have Johnny Dumfries in it. He didn't have a very good season compared to Senna. Well, to be fair, Johnny Dumfries didn't really have a pot to piss in all through 86. I think it was pretty much a number one driver only team. I think Johnny was just there to make up the numbers. Scored 3 points all season. I think 2 of them were in the first 3 races of the year. And it didn't really take off, although to be fair, the next year they brought in Satoru Nakajima and he didn't do much better either. Yeah, 2 wins throughout the year for Senna, but poor Johnny didn't get very much at all. But like I said, yeah, it's part of the last of the JPS colour schemes, before they went with the camel yellow for 1987. Not much else I can say about the car really, well, the real one anyway. It's one of the iconic cars, of course. Gave Senna another 2 victories, as well as a brilliant fight at the Spanish Grand Prix between himself and Nigel Mansell. I think that's, what was the other racy one? Was it Detroit, I think, a street circuit, which sort of sounds about right for Senna, doesn't it? But yeah, very much a one-man team as far as 1986 went along, and pretty much, I think apart from Nigel Mansell, all the British drivers had a pretty dull season as well, because Nigel was the number one in the public eye for Great Britain, and Johnny Dumfries, I think Jonathan Palmer, Martin Brundle and Derek Warwick were pretty much no-hopers throughout the year, being given substandard machinery, although apart from Johnny, of course, in the Lotus. So on to the model itself, of course in a typical Minichamps box, although in the back it does say the Lotus Renault 98T at the back there. Typical Minichamps box. It's got the all the gubbins down there, and the same around the back. And of course, the same around the other side. Not a lot to do on there, but yeah, overall not a bad model. Now, well, bad box I should say. Get onto the model in a minute. Bought this model back in 2008 at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and I paid £30 for it. Happy days. Of course, there's the price tag to prove it. You can just about see it. £30. Still got it on there. And happy days they were. Back in the days, and you could actually buy a model for not ridiculous prices. I think I picked up the Jordan 191 for £20, and the Benetton B195 for £30, and a few others at ridiculously low prices. Yeah, how good days they were. Anyway, I shall do a jump cut and remove this from the box, and I shall be back then, so back in a moment. Okay, back again. Now I removed the car from the box, and it looks even better out the box. Apologise for the lighting, because it's gone a bit dark outside, as you'd expect for Great Britain. It's now pissing with rain, and it's rather windy outside. Yay, British summertime. Anyway, onto the car itself. A very nice model as well, in the gorgeous black and gold livery. A livery which should have died, or should have remained with the Lotus name, or the original Lotus name for the 1980s. I really don't like the idea of the modern Lotus team having a black and gold livery, because it's not the same team, is it? Not the same sponsors. It's basically Tom and Benetton Renault Lotus all merged into one, and they're just trying to rekindle some of the history. And then never mind. But yeah, fantastic looking model. Of course, Johnny Dumfries in the car as well. Have a look at his helmet there. Bit of a matte colour scheme for his visor there. Nicely detailed, of course, the Lotus round it. Haven't got no John Player Special decals on the car. I'm not that talented when it comes to modifying decals. It's just got the whatever those things are. I've got the word for them in my head, I just can't think about it. But yeah, I'm not talented enough to actually take these off and put the JPS logos all over the car. Something I really don't want to do, because I know I will fuck it up. So I won't be doing that. But overall, it does look fantastic. It's quite a light model as well. It's not a lot of weight to it, although there's pretty much all metal for the body. Look around the diffuser there, got the big gearbox on the back. Nearly knocked the camera over. So got the gearbox on the back there, nicely sculpted in or moulded in plastic. Got a light on there, a little bit of dust in there. I did have it on display for a few weeks when I had it, when the cabinet was a bit less full. And look around again, got the DeLonghi, the Renault Turbo. Got a few details on the windshield there, a few rivets. And it really shows how dusty this thing is, but never mind. But yeah, fantastic colour scheme. Nicely applied decals, with a few felled edges here and there, but overall it's pretty good. And I have to say, for £30 I ain't going to complain, considering these things tend to go for about £100 on eBay these days, whether it be the Senna collection model or not. But enough said there. If you're into paying lots of money for your models, then by all means. But overall, strength-wise, this car is fantastic as well. It's very well put together. The steering arms are they're not stiff as like modern cars, but they are quite well put together. They're very thick wishbones which hold the wheels on, and the steering works fine as well. So there's no issues there. Gotta love the wheel rims and the Goodyear Eagle on the car. But a wibbly area, which is not quite as wibbly as it should be, I think. Bit of loose plastic, I think. Got the rollover hoop, very nicely done. They've got a hole in the top, which I think should be either a pop-off valve or just, I'm not sure what it is actually. I know the 87 cars had pop-off valves. I'm not sure the 86 car should have them. Got the air scoops on the rear there, turbo inlets, and overall a very nice car. I'm sort of running out of things to say about this car. It's just one of my favourites in the. When I come to talk about this thing, I sort of go a bit mute. But got to get one of these. Going to have a look in the cockpit and have a look at the details in there. If I can hold the camera steady, nearly knock the rear wing off. It's got a few dials on the wheel, or on the panel, I should say. A few lights there. Got the gear shifter in the back there. Of course, the steering wheel does turn, unlike some of the modern cars. And yeah, very nicely put together. Hats off to Minichamps for this one. Love the colour scheme. As you see, it does glisten in the whatever light we do have here. Very nicely made model. Love the slick tyres as well, the fat slicks. How Formula 1 should be. Wide track, fat slicks. Gotta love them. So hopefully Formula 1 will one day go back to the 2 metre wide cars. Makes them look more stable and makes them look more appealing, really. I don't mind the current crop of Formula 1 cars, but Formula 1 is a bit of a Nazi sport at the moment, especially when, pardon me, you look at Lewis Hamilton's performance at Monaco, and he just sort of had a whinge or a sulk in the car as he drove back to the grid on the slowdown lap after the race. But enough about the rant. Onto the car, back to the car, I should say. Strength-wise, of course, I say strength, more material-wise. The front wing, as you'd expect, is plastic. The suspension, of course, is plastic. The wing mirrors are flexible, but they are held on quite well. Most of the body, from the tip of the nose to the back end, is all die-cast, as you can tell with the paint. The air scoops on the back here are, I think they're metal as well. Got a rollover hoop, of course, in silver plastic. Rear wing does flex a bit, but it's very well held on. Not much else I can say. I'm just sort of dribbling over it at the moment. There's a bit of dust on the tyres for the moment, just because I haven't dusted the desk very much, or recently. So as soon as this review's over, I'll go back in the box. But I have to get as many views in as I can. I really should get a turntable so I can turn it around and save me having to lift it up, because I really don't want to get my fingerprints all over it, which is quite often what happens. I'll just give it a wipe over with a rag in a minute. But yeah, nice detail on here. You got a bit of detail on the roll hoop as well. Got the little pull ring there. I don't know, once it focuses. Johnny Dumfries there, the lovely font. Not sure what that logo is meant to be. Well, focus then, there we go. Not sure what that logo is meant to be, a little dinosaur or a dragon, whatever. And overall, a fantastic car. If you can pick up one of these for the same price I did, then you're a lucky bastard, because I don't think you'll ever will. £30 what I paid for this thing. There was at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, there's usually this one chap who had his own stall there, You just had stacks of models at the back, and you could just go in there and just sort of, you just had to decide which ones you could get, because it's a real bastard to carry all these cars. I think I ended up with about 6 that day, but when you try to carry them around the Goodwood show area, it ain't a pleasant sight. You just have to keep going back for more and end up spending all your money. It's like I said, there was all the models you wanted, but you couldn't buy them all because you couldn't carry them. Usually you have to take a couple of slaves with you to carry them for you. But never mind. Of course that chap no longer goes to Goodwood, and his stall is no longer there. You go to Goodwood looking for a bargain, you're sort of you're buggered basically. Yeah, I think just look at this car for the moment. The sun, whatever sunlight is glistening off of it, does look very nice. And it's a very nice car to talk about. I'm sort of running out of things to say about it, but it is one of my absolute favourites. And just get as many angles as we can. I might as well have a look at the bottom as well as we're here. Turn it over and knock the camera over in the process. A flat bottom car, of course, post ground effects, but pre wooden plank. And there's not much to say on there. You got the Paul's Model Arts Minichamps there, as well as the Lotus 98T, 1986, and all the screw holes underneath. It's basically flat from the nose all the way to the diffuser. You've got a little bit of detail under there. So you got the slip for the gearbox, the drive shaft. It's a pull rod suspension car as well. You got the pull rods, big spring in there. Of course, the front suspension is all pull rods. You can see the front the pull rods are poking downwards, diagonal downwards most today, diagonal up. Although there are a few. I'm not sure if there's any this year in 2015, but over the past couple of years we did have a few pull rod cars. But I'm making a return because there's no keel under the car now, so they can sort of have a mishmash of whatever they want. Anyway, that's my review of the 98T. I do have plenty more to review. I've got about 150 cars overall to review, so I've got my work cut out. But anyway, that's my review of the Lotus 98T, and I shall return with another review as and when. So bye for now.